But there was rumours that Hughes made the decision to sell Diaz, not Slot. Slot wanted to keep him and sign him up. I'm not sure how true that is. That's just a rumour on the internet, on Twitter. I can't remember who came up with it, but it's there. Now, if that's the kind of decision-making that's going on and it's going on from above, then you're right. This looks like it's a directive from the directors, the director of football.
I'd throw my weight behind that and say I believe that as well.
So if you believe that too, and I believe you, then we can both assume, and remember we're assuming because we don't know, nobody knows, we can safely assume that the director of football is running the transfer staff, knows with Slot what they're kind of trying to do, and maybe what suits the squad, because if a new manager comes in, the squad's got to suit whatever style they've got. Now, this squad is suited to a three at the back, as long as they get some defenders in, a defender in. Now, I think at the end of the day, when they sold Diaz, all of us, and Nunes, we all assumed that there'd be a left winger too. And let's be honest, I'd heard we were 100% looking at a left winger. We couldn't get one in right at the end because the market just wasn't right for one. Maybe Semenyo would have cost a bit too much. Maybe we weren't even interested at that point. It's what he's done at Anfield and what he's done at the start of the season that's really impressed. But even more. But yeah, I think even though if Slot goes, Aguehi coming in is needed, and Semenyo coming in is needed, because where are we weak?
Regardless.
Yeah, because where are we weak, Grizz? We haven't got power on the wings. We haven't got a person who's going to take
power anywhere. We haven't got power. I'm telling you now.
We have power in the middle, but that's it.
The only person with any power and showing it, I'm sure Virgil and Konate have power, but they're not showing it, is Dominic Szoboszlai. The pace, the power, the energy in the whole team seems to be an absolute shambles right now.
I agree with Elthoff on this as well. We do need a 6-2. We do need a dedicated 6. So whoever comes in as a manager, I hope they believe in a 6, because I've heard from the grapevine, Slot does not believe in a proper 6.
What did Klopp?
No, but he did. Fabinho was a proper 6, bro.
But he didn't believe in it, guys. He didn't believe in it. He brought in Fabinho, and obviously he was out of the team for quite a while. But he often used to talk about number 6 and sort of, no, I believe, you got to remember he brought in Thiago Alcantara to play that role eventually. Klopp, I don't think Klopp was an avid believer.
Fabinho, I think the Mount Fabinho ended up playing proved it did work, and then he went and bought Endo as well. Tried to buy Casado too. So, I think Klopp did believe in it. I think he showed this league, especially, you need that shield in front of your defense.
For sure.
Our best teams in the Premier League era have been with Mascherano. Mascherano and Fabinho, right?
There is not a team in history of winning the Premier League that hasn't had a DM. Someone tell me otherwise. There hasn't. Even the Leicester City team had bloody Kante.
Yeah.
And we know the Keanes, we know the Vieiras, we know the Fabinho.
They've all been all of the successful.
Every single team.
Who was it before Rodri?
Fernandinho, of course.
Just absolutely crazy. So I think if you're going to be successful in this league, you've got to have a real high quality one. There's no surprise that, Arsenal and Chelsea are doing well this season, and they're playing tomorrow, and Chelsea could get really close to them. But they would have decent players playing in those positions, And I think, again, it's a really interesting point, and I think Slot needs to give in on that, and we really need to get a strong 6 in as well. So if there's 3 players I choose, 3 positions I choose, it's a centre back, a DM, and the left winger to come in.
Dare I say it?
A right back as well.
No. I'm content when everyone's fit. Obviously, we'd have to have a real.
They don't stay fit. Bradley and Frimpong can't stay fit.
Well, Frimpong's a freak in terms of fitness injury situation. He's never been unfit or picking up injuries. I was going to say we need to really scrutinize the Conor Bradley situation in terms of if we're going to keep him as our number 1 right back, we have to try to work out the situations with his injuries. Because if he's going to be the Alisson of fullbacks, then we need another fullback. Because then we can't solely rely on Frimpong as being our orthodox right back, in my opinion. I genuinely believe Frimpong will be slowly but surely developed into sort of a Salah replacement, whilst looking also at a Salah replacement, if you know what I mean. So before people have a fit and say, oh, does that mean we're not going to replace Salah with another attacker? I don't mean that. What I mean is Frimpong will be the Gakpo to the Semenyo, for example. Frimpong will be the alternative to a Salah replacement. And I think Semenyo is going to come and play on the right anyway.
Take most position.
Hey? Yeah, most position. But yeah, I think our tweaks, if they take place like we envisage and hope and pray, I don't think we're far off again. I know that sounds delusional right now. What I mean by far off is we haven't turned into total disasters overnight. I think a few tweaks and a bit of luck, and I think we'll be on the right path again. When I say tweaks, I mean 2 to 3 first-team signings like the ones we've mentioned. So, look, it's mad doom and gloom at the moment, and we deserve all the criticism that we're getting, including the players, including the coach. I think we're going to be good again very, very, very soon.
How soon though, bud?
January onwards.
Oh my God.
We're going to have to bear it. We're going to have to bear it. Look, we've looked at the fixture list before we went off to the international break, and we said, look, God willing, when we come back, we'll have a situation where the players will be rested, the fixture list will be slightly easier, and we can hopefully attack it, our position, and solidify at least a Champions League spot. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. But still, the goal is the same. And I was going to ask you, what is our goal now for the remainder of the season? What's your objective, realistic or unrealistic, delusional or whatever you want to call it? What is your goals for the rest of the season? Be honest with me.
In the Premier League, we qualify for Champions League, 100%, right? And then we must try and win some silverware, whether it's the FA Cup or the Champions League. We've got to go for it. We just have to. And coming third or fourth in the league is something that we've got to aim for. We're not too far away still, thankfully. We've got 3 league games that should be winnable for this squad. Obviously, I'm expecting them to lose all 3 right now because that's where I am, in my belief of this team. But when you play West Ham away and you play Sunderland and Leeds at home, and then Leeds away, Sunderland at home, Leeds away, you've got to expect 3 wins, right? You've got to, like as a normal Liverpool fan would go in, we got to win those 3. Let's say God is kind to us, or the football gods are kind to us, and we win 9 out of 9. I think we're in a totally different position come next weekend, right? In terms of in the league, because it's mad. This league table's mad. But as Alexander just said, what the fuck is a Liverpool these days? Like they just don't know what a Liverpool is these days.
For you, earlier you said, and I didn't get to say my part, for you it was the Nottingham Forest at home game that switched.
Was it PSV for you?
For me, it was PSV, Gags.
Well, the mad thing about PSV was, and we haven't even talked about it, when we went 1-0 down, I was in Discord, because we've got a Discord, by the way, guys. If you want to join our Discord, it's anfieldindex.com/Discord, so you can join it. And I do kind of free commentary, just text commentary on there whilst we're all watching the match. And when we went 1-0 down, I said, this could be 3-0. We could lose by 3 now. And we were like, shut up, man. We're at home. It's PSV. I was like, we could lose by 3 now, because I don't believe in this team. When we scored the equalizer, I was like, ha. I said, I'll take the draw right now, boys. And they all went, are you mad? I said, I will take this draw right now, because I'm telling you, any kind of, like what happened with Forest, straight after the second half, they're going to go score. It's going to be a problem. And guess what they did second half? They went and scored the second. And then we got battered. And I was just like, the second half was so bad. As good as the first half, we did play well in the first half. Second half was so bad, devoid of any desire, control, passion. I feel
I
sorry
think,
for
I think
everyone
the
going through
first
the game right now.
I think the first 10 to 15 minutes of the first half and the entirety of the second half was the most baffling, the most embarrassing, the most confusing set of 45 minutes in totality. No, sorry, 45 and 15, 60 minutes. The most baffling and all those adjectives that are used of hour of football I've ever seen as a Liverpool fan. And that is saying something. It was clueless, heartless, brainless. We didn't have any idea of what we're doing or what we're trying to do. And again, unfortunately, that has to be changed or directed from the coach.
It
You
does.
know, I didn't know what we were doing. I don't think the players had a clue. And Gags, it's the worst feeling or the question that you don't really want to ask, but we must ask. Have they down tools? Have they given up on this coach, Gags? Give me your honest thoughts and opinion on that, because it's the most hated question as a player or as a fan. No, don't say that. They've down tools. This club, 3 months later, after believing in him and all that, have down tools. It's a very difficult thing to prove. It's an impossible thing to prove unless someone writes a book 10 years later and said, yeah, we had given up on Slot at that stage. It's impossible to prove. What are your thoughts?
It's impossible to prove. But we both have been watching Liverpool for 40 years plus.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever been more convinced of a team downing tools than this in your career? I mean, Hodgson, yes, we down tools, but this is after Hodgson. This is the 9 losses out of 12, losing 2 games back-to-back at home by 3 goals. 3 goals, losing by 9 goals in 3 games in a row total. -9 in the last 3. I have never experienced it in my life. I promise you, I just haven't. I can't remember feeling so devoid of any feeling. Like, I am laughing at the end of the games going, like, people bantering with me doesn't even hurt. They all know, like, my mates that are Man United fans, they all know, Gagsy just accepted this. We can't even battle with him now. He's just like, yeah, but shit. What are we going to say? We won the league. I just keep telling him, I'm just so fucking glad we won the league last season. I got to witness it, experience it, live it. I got to fucking, maybe it's my fault. Maybe those shirts every single day, the gods just went, yo, now you pay.
Football's a humbler.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm taking it well. Like, life is going great, okay, for me. Touch wood. Don't want to jinx my own life. I cannot let football destroy me and destroy my attitude, destroy my mood at home with my kids and my wife and, my family around me. I have to try and really be strong to take this as this is part of life. We've been here before. But let me be honest, they've down tools, Grizz.
I want to bring this comment up because I want to ask your opinion and give mine, I guess, or let people decide as well what they thought of the Curtis Jones interview. Because Comey, who's a regular watcher of us, thank you very much, Comey, he says, I start to worry about his management. I start to worry about losing players. Jones had to watch Macca stinkers week in, week out. Favoritisms can create a toxic atmosphere. Now, Curtis Jones, we know, came out after the game and said we need to put in a tackle or two, basically. Our energy and our aggression is non-existent, basically. I'm using my own words in terms of what he said, but pretty much that's what he meant. What was your thoughts on what he said? He said basically, no more talking. We've got to get out there and put a few tackles in and show them aggression. And this is Anfield, this is Liverpool. Because at the moment, we can do all the hairy-fairy stuff. But there's no conviction about game. And we're in the shit, basically, he said. I really liked the way he spoke.
I did. I agreed with him because when you watch the Forest game, how many times did we pull out of tackles with them? I didn't see it as much against PSV, but the real Forest game, Gakpo was pulling out of stuff. Grav was pulling out of stuff. we could have just fouled them and taken a card, and they wouldn't have gone the break and scored off of it. I mean, Ali was back for Forest as well. We can't even say the keeper was back. We just was really poor. Like, we were just really poor defensively again, and in midfield we just didn't have the fight. So yeah, I think Curtis has got every right to say what he's saying. Curtis, I know for a fact, is pissed. He's pissed at his treatment. You can tell, dude.
And rightly so.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let me be honest. He doesn't stay fit very often either. So,
well, to be fair to him, he's only been unfit once this season in terms of that period.
But it's like when he started playing 2 games in a row, he got injured again. So it's like, well, Curtis, I kind of understand why the manager's not going to play you every game, because you're going to get injured. So you got to be played once every other week, once every week. It's such a tough situation for Slot. Like I said, I love him for everything he did last season. I feel very sorry for him. I do not hate him.
He's a classy guy. He's a classy.
Let me just say, the way he dealt with all the Jota stuff, everything, the way he's dealing with this as well, he's going to say shit now because he's under pressure.
Yeah.
I think I love him. He's a great guy, but I still say he's got to go. Like, both things can be true. You can still like a guy and how he's behaved at the club, and he's going to be a legend for winning the title, no matter what anyone says. But this drop-off is not acceptable for any Liverpool fan. We can be the most positive of all positives, Grizz. But like all the things we're discussing here, the lack of fight, the lack of wanting to win, a desire, it's all there.
I genuinely believe, guys, let's go back. Forest, City, Palace, and PSV. I genuinely don't know what a Liverpool goal looks like. Like,
this is the point I'm coming against.
It was like tap-in was fine, but we're devoid of any ideas, whether it's an attack or whether it's
motivation. That's the key. He's devoid of any motivation, and that's what Comi's saying here. Not a classy, but is he a good motivator? No. Is he a source of inspiration? He hasn't got any. Is he a good man manager? His substitutions have been awful. How good they were last year, they're as bad this year. They've gone total 360, 180, whichever. Actually, 180 because 360 is standing back in the same position.
I wish we were. I wish it was a 360.
I wish it was a 360. It's a 180. And, Neil's saying, favoritism set in. Gakpo shouldn't be playing every game.
But this is the problem of, and I screamed it from the rooftops over the summer, stop keeping players that the coach doesn't trust and believe in, i.e. Gomez, Endo, Chiesa. If we brought in 3 players in those positions that Klopp believed in as first-team options, we'd be fine. We'd be fine, Gags. But he doesn't believe in Chiesa, so he keeps keeping Gakpo. Rio is way too young. Don't know why we put out to the press and media that he's an option. Endo, he hasn't believed in 2 seasons since he stepped through the door, right? He told him he's not good enough. And Gomez, the proof's in the pudding. I can't understand that for a second, Mr. Gags. Endo, Gomez, and Chiesa. Baffling. The situation with them has been baffling for 2 years. And there's no sign of it ending until Slot loses his job. And that's the bit where I feel sorry for him, because he's very clearly not believing in them. Whereas the sporting director, the people that make those kind of choices have said, no, they must stay for now.